Hi everybody, welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host Anabla. Welcome to episode 89. I hope everyone is doing very well. I wanted to start today's episode with a 1-minute meditation. I've been practicing meditation a lot recently. I've been praying a lot, and so I just wanted to start today's episode with like a brief moment of respite before I talk your ear off, basically. So I'm going to start a timer now. I have 1 minute, just a little meditation, relaxation. While you take a minute of silence, I want you to reflect on something that you did well today or yesterday, depending on when you're listening to this episode, something that you are proud of yourself for. And I want you to meditate on that for 1 minute. So we will start right now. Right, and just in time for the gardeners next door to start. Thank you so much, everybody, for taking that minute with me. That's kind of my first topic of today's pod episode. I have been meditating a lot. I've been praying a lot. I've been like intentionally like thinking on and like sending good energy out to like other people and like to my friends and family. And it's helped a lot. I have felt like recently at the end of the day, my mind is like just on. And like physically, I never have an issue falling asleep. Usually when my head hits the pillow, it's like done. But I think I've gotten into like a bad habit of being on my phone when I'm laying down. So my body has kind of like lost that association with my head hitting the pillow being time for sleep, because too often I'm in bed with my head on the pillow, but I'm not asleep and I'm like doing other things. So I've been trying to work on mindfulness and like meditation and like that being the only thing that I do when I'm actually in bed and I'm like about to fall asleep. And I do think it's helped me like fall asleep faster, which is great. It's helped with mental load and just kind of like, it's a nice way to like debrief at the end of the day. I use the Hollow app for any like Christians / like Catholics out there. I use the Hollow app for, they have a lot of great features. You can do like a free, there's free access to the app, but if you want like certain other like prayers or meditations or like serious things like that, you have to pay. But I listen to like daily mass readings, and then I listen to their like nightly prayer. So it says Thursday night prayer. So like it'll say whatever the day of the week is. That is always really nice. So I'd recommend that. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a really nice way for me to like wrap up my day mentally so that I can go into sleep with peace and like serenity. So it's been really nice. I do have a little streak going with that, and I think it's very helpful. So shout out to that. If you've never like meditated or prayed like right before bed, give it a shot. All right, y'all, my dub of the week is surviving whatever the fuck virus I had last week. Oh my God. And sincerely, anytime that I have to skip a pod episode any given week, it's like, I don't like it. Like I literally am like, I miss it. Like I miss editing. I miss recording and sitting down and like talking to y'all in my room and just gabbing about life and everything. And I genuinely am at the point where I like miss it when I skip a week. So thank y'all for bearing with me. But yeah, whatever I had last week, wouldn't recommend it. It was just like really bad congestion, fever and everything. And the congestion just like lasted still up until right now. I'm still not even like back to normal 100%, which is crazy. I mean, I feel good, but yeah, it's been like over a week, almost 2 weeks, and I'm still dealing with that, which is crazy. That's my dub of the week. I literally went through the ringer. I had to sleep so much. Typically when you're sick, obviously sleep is super important. And I like mentally know that. So whenever I am sick, I try to get extra rest, but it's not often that like when I'm sick, I have extreme fatigue to the extent that like I don't have a choice but to rest. And I definitely felt that with this. It was like very, very overwhelming. The physical desire my body was like bringing to me. It was very, very overwhelming, like my body's physical desire for sleep and rest. So I listened and healed up. Obviously, I'm here, y'all. But I missed you, like genuinely. So it is good to be back. And like I said, last episode, we were almost at 10K subs. So if you're watching and you're interested in the pod, you like the vibe, and you want to come on this journey with me, please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're just listening, please follow the pod on whatever your platform is, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate, review, like, save, all that stuff. I really do appreciate all the support. I want to keep doing this for as long as possible. This is so fun for me, and I want to expand it, and I want it to grow, and I can only do that with y'all. So please support in any way that you are able to, and I'm like forever grateful, obviously. I have a hot take this week. My hot take is that we need to bring back buying concert tickets in person at the venue, like how it used to be. Buying your physical concert ticket at the venue. And then, I mean, now we have technology, so I think we could blend the old way and the new way perfectly. So you have to go to the physical venue to buy the ticket, okay? So then only the people that like actually give a shit, right, will actually show up, because you know if you're gonna go in person to buy the ticket, you're actually gonna show up to the concert, right? At least in my opinion, as an artist, nothing could be worse than like having a sold out show on paper and then showing up and realizing that it's like bots and resellers and like not every seat is filled. That would suck. I don't know how often that's happening, but I'm sure it's like more of an issue than it ever was, right? Because resellers have literally like gone off the rails. It's completely unregulated. It's like bad. So yeah, we need to bring back buying tickets in person, okay? And you have to like have your ticket linked to your ID. And I don't know, this is like kind of strict, but like either like you can't resell the ticket, or if you want to resell or transfer like the ticket, you have to transfer it to a person, and then they have to like have their ID linked to it. And you have to do that in person as well, in my opinion, because then it's just like a little extra layer of like, you know, and then when you show up at the venue, you have to like scan your ticket and your ID, and they have to match. I don't know, that's a little bit extreme, but like I'm just spitballing here, you guys. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw an email this week. Spotify has a new feature called Reserved. And I think it's kind of a step in this direction. And so I wanted to talk about it. Essentially, there's a feature that's going to be available. I don't know if it's for like top listeners or fans or like people that frequently stream an artist. That kind of is what it seems like the vibe of it is, that you, based on your metadata within like Spotify and your listening history and everything like that for specific artists, you could have like early access to tickets for an artist's concert. Spotify's website says a reserved by Spotify ticket offer provides its recipients with the ability to purchase up to 2 tickets to an artist tour for a dedicated time frame. If you get a reserved by Spotify ticket offer, Spotify holds tickets for you for the duration of your reservation window, so you don't need to log on the moment the pre-sale starts to ensure you get tickets. Tickets are reserved for the tour overall, not for a particular concert night or location. So you still need to choose the date, location, and seats when you buy. So basically, Spotify receives a limited ticket allocation for each campaign event. Because demand often far exceeds ticket availability, only Spotify subscribers that are the artist's most dedicated fans will be selected for a ticket reservation. What else? Let's see. Reserved by Spotify tickets are for sale. You can't purchase resale tickets through the program. Period. That's on period. Okay. Tickets will only be available for a limited time. To be eligible, you must have a premium plan. Premium mini or light plans are not eligible. You are in the available market. At this time, it's only in the US. Your account is at least 1 week old. You're not eligible if you're on a free trial, you're 18 and older. Okay. So on the Spotify newsroom, it says that eligibility is based on a wide range of signals like streams, saves, and shares, as well as location to make sure offers actually reach fans who are likely to attend. Very, very interesting. I mean, that's cool, but unfortunately, I feel like there's a very easy workaround for resellers. You could just have a bunch of devices streaming like 24/7, and you could be considered the top like fan of an artist. And then each like account, Spotify premium account you have could buy 2 tickets, and then are you able to resell those? Like that's what I want to know. Are you able to resell them if you get them that way? I don't know. Very interesting. I think it's an intriguing program. I do think that I understand the motives of it being like only giving access to like, or at least like saving access to tickets for like actual fans. I think that's super important because a lot of like fans of artists complain online about not even being able to get a ticket or like not being able to afford tickets because bots and resellers buy them all up and then immediately relist them for like double, triple, 10x the price. It's just gotten like a little bit out of hand, and I think that these companies don't really have an incentive to stop because they take like a percentage fee. Google AI overview says that Ticketmaster deducts a resale service fee from your final payout as the seller, which hovers around 10 to 15% of the sale price. Okay. AXS says that once the ticket sells, a resale fee is deducted from your earnings. StubHub and SeatGeek, third-party secondary platforms, generally charge the seller a selling fee or commission, 10% of the ticket sale price. Right. Notable exceptions, face value exchanges. If the event organizer or artist mandates a face value exchange, where tickets can only be resold for what you originally paid, why doesn't everybody do that? That's so stupid. Or third-party transfers. If you sell a digital ticket directly to a friend or simply transfer it to them via email. Right. Yeah. So clearly they have no incentive if they're getting 10 to 15% of the resale price. Right. Knowing that fact, I think we're a little bit further from a solution than I expected, but I have hope, everybody. I do have hope. I hope that other companies like similar to Spotify can start having programs like this where at least like people that are like actual diehard fans can like be able to go for like not exorbitant prices. And then like the face value thing. I don't really know why every artist wouldn't just like automatically do that at a venue. Someone's getting paid off somewhere. Either like the ticketing companies are paying the labels, or I don't know. There's some money shit happening for sure. Y'all follow the money. But yeah, I hope that more companies can do stuff like that. I feel like that's a step in the right direction. And if like every streaming service were to do something like that, that would help a little bit, right? So hopefully other services can be inspired by that. That'd be sick. All right, y'all. Zesty Thoughts Pod Book Club. I know we're like mid-month, and I've been kind of bad about like announcing what I'm reading and updating y'all on that. But I'm currently reading Brooke Averick's Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It, and I love it so far. Actually listening to the audiobook. My schedule's like been actually insane. And so I've been opting for audiobooks recently. But yeah, if y'all don't know who Brooke Averick is, she is a podcaster and now author. This is her like debut book, which is so freaking cool. I love it already. I'm loving the audiobook because she literally narrates, like she literally is the voice for the audiobook, which I love. Um, she has a podcast with Connor Wood called Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast. It's like one of my go-tos. It's one of those podcasts where like on my YouTube subscription feed page, if I have like a bunch of new uploads, it's typically the one that I click first. I just love them so much. They're funny, they're inquisitive, and they're just like real. And they have such an interesting and like fun and playful outlook on life, and they inspire me a lot. And so as soon as Brooke announced she was writing a book like ages ago, I was like, girl, hand it over, hand it over. And so I'm maybe halfway through now. I have not really had the most time to like binge it, but I really like it so far. So I highly recommend y'all grab a copy. Once again, it is called Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It, written by Brooke Averick. So check it out. I'll put the link in the description, like the Goodreads link, the Apple like book link, all that kind of stuff. So y'all can check it out. And then I'll also link BNCMAP, the podcast, below, because I think if you vibe with me and my personality and like we have similar energy, I think that you would like this podcast. It's a little bit more like random, and there's obviously more back and forth because there are two hosts, but I think you will like it a lot. I just love them so much. Last segment of today's pod, I listened to one of Drake's new albums, Habibti. I'm a Kendrick fan, y'all. The whole beef to me, it is what it is, right? But like ever since all that went down, I have a really hard time, like genuinely have a really hard time listening to Drake's music without it feeling like corny to me. I'll be so honest. It definitely 100% influenced me and changed my perspective about Drake. And let me just say right now, the intro to this album, rusty intro, did not sway me in any other direction. I was like, oh, this is corny. So if this album is going to be anything like this intro, not going to be a vibe. I liked it. I wasn't like hating on it with a passion. I like the songs with features 100%. I do to an extent have a lot of respect for Drake. Like I feel like he's had such a long career as an artist, and he just also has put out so much music. Like the volume of music that he's released and his discography, if you like look at it, the variety of it, like the evolution of it, like it's iconic for a reason. Like half of my gym playlist is Drake still. Even with me catching corny vibes, still half of my workout playlist is Drake. But it's more of like the trap, like rap, hip hop kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the corniness I can't shake off. But I was like, you know what? I respect him as an artist still, and I need to give it a shot. So I listened to it. It's not necessarily like the type of R&B that I gravitate towards. So I feel like I'm gonna like Iceman more because I know that album is more categorized as like hip hop rap. And like I said, I've always liked Drake's rap more than his R&B-esque stuff. I don't know. I just feel like it has more aura, if that makes any sense. And I listen to it more often than his like R&B type shit. So I'm going to listen to Iceman, and I haven't listened to Maid of Honor either. I probably will like those better, hopefully. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Also, speaking of music, since I'm talking about an artist, small hot toddy take, maybe not a hot toddy take. I don't think people would like claim this person is not one of the GOATs, but I do think that Steve Perry from Journey is like super slept on. I had a random like reel the other day pop up of some guy singing a Journey song, and I was like, hold up, like that's actually like a huge flex being able to do that. And then I thought about it more, and I was like listening back to Journey vocals and like watching live videos of them performing. And I do feel like Steve Perry is like one of those like artists / bands that like, I don't know, if you're like studying vocals, I do think it's like kind of an essential, whether you're like a tenor or just like in general studying and trying to work on different skills as a singer. Steve Perry's like resonance and his power is so like refined and like it's just like so satisfying to listen to his voice. And I do think he's a great vocalist to study and analyze and try to like emulate and imitate to work on technical skills and like add extra skills into your tool belt as a singer. So if you're a singer and you're watching this and you haven't really ever dived into Journey's music or listened to them at all, I would highly recommend. Some of it's some corny shit, but there are some deep cuts. I really like Open Arms, obviously. I really like Open Arms and Love and Touch and Squeezin'. Those are like probably my top two. Even just like vocally, they're like fun to sing. I have them in my like A+ vocals playlist. So yeah, if you're a singer and you've never studied Journey's music, I challenge you to work on that as like a little side project vocally. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up today's episode. I hope everyone's having a fun week. Kids are like out of school now. We're outside. It's like technically not summer yet, but it's summer, you feel me? So I hope everyone's enjoying the start of their summer. Get outside, enjoy the weather, and gather with friends and just like have the time of your life. Have the summer of your life, okay? And have a fun weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.